Hello and welcome to Chapter 3. We are in Block 3, but we're still entering data. This time I'm going to show you how to enter data using the UCINet Matrix Editor. So here's just a quick screen capture of the UCINet Matrix Editor after we've entered data. We're going to do a smaller network, but this is just the Alexandria version of Omar's network, all the people he knew and that knew him while he was in Alexandria, Egypt. This was on his road to radicalization. So what I want you guys to do now is open UCINet, and we will now enter data using the UCINet Matrix Editor. Some of you may love this, what I'm going to show you. Some of you may just like to stick with Excel. Depending upon my mood, I use either or. They're both great for different reasons. Not so good for other reasons, but that's anything in life pretty much. So let's enter a quick little network into UCINet using our UCINet Matrix Spreadsheet Editor. So click on the UCINet Matrix Spreadsheet Editor button, and we get this lovely little window here. What you want to do, because in this case I'm making a complete one mode non-directed network. So I want to symmetrize as I type in my network data. Remember, always start, you can't add anything in these cells, and you always want to start on the second cell or second row down. All right, so let's enter Omar and see what's happening up in the column as well. This is what's beautiful about entering it in UCINet dataset. You enter Omar if you click on Symmetrize as you type. Let's do family member number 1, family member number 2. Sorry, let's do friend number 2 because I want to make this small. And we'll stick with the same imam number 1. All right, and remember what we said about self-knowing. Here we put in a 0 because Omar does not know himself, although he probably does, but you get the picture. Omar and family member number 1, and remember, because this is an ego network and Omar is our ego, he's going to know everybody. So we put in a 1, and remember, we go from rows, so we go across as we enter our data. And look, as I entered it for him here, it also appears in here, and it's a mirror image on this side as it is on this side of the diagonal, because it's a one mode non-directed network. So everybody that has ties over here will have the same ties over here. Okay, so we know that Omar knows everybody across here. He's friends with, or he knows his friend number 2, and he knows the imam. And as you type it in, it fills it in over here too. Now let's go to friend number 1, or family member number 1. Already it's typed in that he knows Omar. We have our self-knowing data is set to no tie. Does family member number 1 know friend number 2? Let's say in this case they don't know each other, just like before. So there's an absence of a tie, and it also fills it in for you right here. Then we move to the next one. Say that the family member number 1 did introduce Omar to the imam, so therefore they know the imam. Fill that in, and it fills it in for you right here as well. Imam, family member number 1. Let's move down to friend number 2. We don't need to start until the self-knowing data, which is always 0 or no tie. And let's say that friend number 2 indeed does know the imam, because both Omar and his friend went to see the imam. So there is a tie. Again, it fills it for you. So all we have left to do is put in our self-knowing data for the imam, and it's always 0. This will only occur if you have symmetrize as you type. If you are using or if you are creating a 2-mode data set, you will not want to symmetrize as you type. If you are creating a directed network where the direction of the ties does make a difference or it does matter, you will not want to have symmetrize symmetrize as you type clicked on either. Only use symmetrize as you type if you are making a complete one mode, non-directed or reciprocal network. And so now we have made our network, and all we need to do is save it. So we can click on the save button. It saves it as you look here, save as type UCINet. Let's call it Omar UCINet dataset, or UCINet small network. That way I know this was the one I created in UCINet. It's going to save it as a UCINet file. I'm going to save it on my desktop. Okay, now let's go back. Let's close this out. Let's go to my computer, desktop, and let's see if it's there. It's the Omar UCINet small network dataset. Sure enough, it's here. And remember, you should always have two versions. If you right click on this version, on one of the versions, and go down and click properties, it should, here it shows you right here, it tells you the file type. It's ##d. Close that out. If you look at the other one, right click properties, file type, ##h. You will always have to have two file types of the same data set to use UCINet and NetDraw. So you always have to have the ##h and the ##d file extensions. And I just wanted to show you what that looked like. All right, so now let's see if this data set worked and open it in NetDraw. I'm going to click here, and the next block is going to be about NetDraw. We're going to go File, Open, UCINet Dataset. We're opening just a general network. Click on your Browse button. I saved mine on my desktop. Make sure you use the correct one. This is our Omar UCINet small network. Open. Here it is in here, the ##h. Click OK. And here again is our small network that we just created using the UCINet Data Matrix Editor.